Hey folks, welcome back to Whistle Thicket. As you can see behind me, I got a bee swarm. My bee yard is right over there, about 50, 60 feet. This is my second swarm, most likely from my hives. There is a beekeeper a couple miles from me. I think she has over 100 hives, and I think I've caught a couple of her swarms over the years, but this one's probably from my bee yard because it's so close. It's on an apple tree. I've actually caught a few swarms here. Bees like those fruit trees, citrus trees down in Florida here are pretty good swarm traps for catching our wild bees here. Now this again is from one of my hives. I'm almost certain, don't know 100%, but let's go ahead and take a closer look. So as you can see, the bees are pretty calm overall. It's about 7:15 at night. I seem to find my swarms at night because I work during the day during swarm season. And swarm season for me is mid-April to early June is typical swarms here. I'm going to have another video where we're going to catch this swarm hopefully in a couple minutes, but I'm probably going to do that on a separate video. What we're going to do today in this video is we're going to talk about why do hives swarm, okay? So that's what we're going to talk about. So hives swarm typically in the spring, though they could swarm in the summer, even in the fall, but typically hives that overwinter are the ones that are going to be swarming because their hive has built up their colony. The winter bees have died, and now we have our spring and summer bees, which live only about 40 to 60 days, whereas a winter bee can live up to 5 months. Now, in places like California or Southern California, Florida, Texas, those places can swarm all year because they have hot, mild temperatures. Where I'm at, we have a winter. It can get down sometimes in western North Carolina in the single digits, even negatives every now and then. So where I'm at, hives tend to swarm in the spring with an overwintered colony. And this is why they swarm. So if the queen and the hive have overwintered, they're building up their hive. The queen is laying anywhere 1,000 to 2,500 eggs per day. It takes about 21 days for those eggs to go from egg to larva to pupa, emerge as an adult. There's also bees dying every day, but there's a point where the emergence of the adults overtakes the death of the bees that are dying from natural causes. And basically, the hive starts running out of room is one of the reasons the hive swarms, because it needs to go somewhere else. But the second big reason is it's usually with a queen that's a little bit older and she starts to slow down her egg production, and her daughter bees, the worker bees, they take a young larva or egg, a larva that's 3 days old or less, and they decide to turn that worker bee into a queen bee. And what they do is that any worker bee could turn into a queen bee if the worker bees feed that larva extra royal jelly. So royal jelly you've probably heard of. All bees get royal jelly for the first couple days as a larva. The worker bees feed them. But with larva that has been selected by the worker bees to be turned into a queen, they feed those larvae extra royal jelly for several more days. And I think it's incredible. That extra royal jelly turns on different parts of the worker bee's DNA, and she develops queen characteristics. It's just crazy. So queens are made, they're not born. So hey, that's a good lesson for us. So the older queen knows, at least I feel, the older queen knows that the new queen is coming and that her time as queen of that hive is, her days are numbered, okay? So the queen has a choice. She can stay, and probably she's going to be killed by her new daughter queen, her offspring, and then the new daughter queen is going to take over, or the queen can lose a little bit of weight so she can fly. She can fly off with about half of her hive, and then she can find a new home and live another day, live another year, maybe live a couple more years. So if I were a queen, I would be swarming too, because I want to go ahead and keep on living as long as I can. Queens typically live about 3 years, though I've heard, you know, they can live up to 7 years. I don't know if that's really true. I think at a zoo once they said that they had a queen that was 7 years old, but typically 2 to 3 years is kind of standard queen life. So let's take one more look. Now somewhere in here is the queen. This is a pretty calm swarm. And I should be catching it instead of making a video because now it's 7:30, but I think it's just incredible, isn't it? Just incredible, just incredible. So what I'm going to do is catch this swarm. It's right above my head, easy to access. I can't ask for a better swarm to catch. But the problem is, if you get a swarm from your own hives, typically they will fly away again. So what I do, I catch them, I put them in a small hive, a nuke box. I lock them up with some honey for a couple days. Sometimes I'll put some brood in there, and that will keep them there. I found if I don't do that, 60-70% chance that the swarm I catch from my own bee yard is just going to fly away. So if you want to see me catch this swarm, that's probably going to be the next video. Thanks for joining us.